G'day, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. This video I'm going to talk about 10 different ways that I would use the Insta360 X3 camera that Insta360 recently released. So, number one, from the car. So I would put it on the stick and have it out the window of the car, for example, or I'd mount it on the car somehow, which I've seen people do. You can also use it as a dash cam, and so get footage from the car. Driving around the city, out in the country, in the mountains. I think you could get some really awesome footage that way. Number two, on the bike. So out while biking. Again, could have it on the stick, so out on the road or in the mountains, holding the camera out on the stick, or again mount it to the bike in some way. Get the footage of where you're going, of yourself, and the surrounds. The whole 360 degrees. The third way would be out on the water. Take it out on, say, a jet ski or a wakeboard or some other sort of watercraft. Again, mount it to the stick or mount it to the equipment itself. I've seen some awesome footage out on the water that you can do, so I've got some really good ideas that I'd explore out on the water. I think you could make some really good footage with the camera that way. Yeah. So the fourth way, why not strap it to something like your dog, for example. If I had a dog, I'd do that, but I don't, so I'd probably have to use the neighbour's dog. But get the dog's view of the world. Put the Insta360 X3 onto the dog. I don't know, mount it to the collar or something like that. Might be a little bit big, but hey, willing to try these things. Number 5. Flying. So why not take to the air in a helicopter, paragliding, something like that. You can get some awesome footage with a camera out doing those sort of activities. So imagine hanging out the helicopter with the Insta360 on a stick. Don't get it too high. You don't want it in the helicopter blades. Or out while paragliding, you're going to get some awesome footage. So number 6. Skiing or snowboarding, zooming down the mountains with the Insta360 out on the stick or chest mounted. Again, awesome adventure footage that you can get that way and really make some cool, compelling videos. What are we up to? Number 7. Why not just use it walking around, whether that be walking around in the city, for example, really explore with different angles, again out on the stick, up behind you, up ahead, down low, put it on that enormous stick that you can also get for it. You can get some really interesting angles and shots and footage that way. Yeah, number 8. Again, back into the mountains, hiking, similar to walking around the city, out on the stick, up behind, down low, all different angles of you hiking, of the surrounds and so forth. Number 9, you can actually just use the Insta360 as a webcam, so that's another way you could use it. And number 10 is the bullet time footage, so whether that be on the stick with the little attachment and swing it around your head, or actually on the I'll say lanyard type cable thing that you can pull out and again swing it around your head. But how about this? Why not try and do your whole day bullet time? Yeah, actually thinking about it, it's probably not possible, but imagine filming a lot of your day with bullet time video. I'm not sure quite what that would look like, but you can make it fast, slow, etc. So could be quite interesting. So there's all sorts of different ways that I would use the Insta360 X3. Just very quickly about the camera itself. So it's got a nice big touchscreen on it, bigger than the previous version. From what I've seen, is really nice and responsive and easy to use. It's got a new 1/2 inch 48 megapixel sensor, which is nice. It's got active HDR mode, which is good also in the stabilization. Works really well. bring up those shadows and highlights, etc. You can do 4K first person view in 30 frames per second, or sort of a wider 170 degree in 2.7K. They've got something called Me Mode, which, as you can imagine, is focused on you and what you're doing it. And with that mode, you don't actually need to use a selfie stick, so you can capture yourself up to sort of 60 frames per second in that mode. It's got the invisible selfie stick, of course, which Insta360 famous for. There's flow state, which keeps the video stabilized. It's got a 360 degree horizon lock, so you can turn it any way around and it'll keep the horizon locked and steady. You can do 360 degree time lapse in 8K. That's pretty cool. Back to the bullet time, you can do this in 4K 120 frames per second, or 3K at 180 frames per second, so great for some slow-mo footage. You can use it as a dash cam, which I mentioned. It's waterproof up to 33 feet. There's voice controls for it, and ultra-fast transfers, and a whole bunch of other features, which I could just go on and on. And of course you can use the really awesome Insta360 app as well on the phone or desktop to sort of edit your videos and select clips and so forth. So yeah, overall this looks a really cool camera. I'd be really keen to try this out. So Insta360, if you're watching, how about send me a version. I'll do a full review and use cases like those 10 uses that I talked about and much more. Alright, we will catch you in the next video.